Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed that he expects Arsenal to be very, very busy this month. And on top of that, remember what David Ornstein said at the beginning of the transfer window? This is going to be an eye-catching summer for Arsenal. Now, by the time we got to August, some fans were thinking, how is it eye-catching? But this could be a very big month. This could be the month that, we end up signing, 3 players that are top players. So let's see what Fabrizio's had to say, and then we talk about the latest on our defender situation and the latest on our winger situation. We have updates on the likes of Vinicius and Konsa. Fabrizio says, let me mention one thing. I expect Arsenal to be busy again. Arsenal not done in the market. I think there's going to be more to come for the Premier League champions. First of all, I never get tired of that. Premier League champions, this is the first time you're actually experiencing this, talking about transfers, and doing content and YouTube. The last time we were champions, there was no YouTube, so we couldn't say these players joining us, the Premier League champions. No, this is the first time, man, in the social media era that we are Premier League champions. So this feels great. Now, he says it's going to be a busy the rest of the transfer window. Now, obviously, up until now, we've completed the signing of Christos Tzolis, who was basically a replacement for Leandro Trossard. We also brought in Illan Meslier, obviously as a third choice goalkeeper or second choice, however it's going to be. And then, obviously, we made Hincapie's deal permanent. And some people are ignoring the Hincapie deal being made permanent. Yes, we expected it to be made permanent, but it's not just one to get over. Remember when Raya joined us on loan, and then the next season we made it permanent, and people were just skipping over that deal, saying, okay, we signed this one and this one. Okay, fine, yeah, Raya as well. No, we cannot say Raya as well. Raya is like one of our best players right now. So the Hincapie deal also has to be counted. So we've completed 3 transfers so far this summer, and a couple of others. In terms of youngsters, I already did an all done deals video. Make sure to check that one out. A couple of kids like this one that we signed, but we're expecting more to come. You're already in talks for a winger. I have a question for you guys. How many more players do you think we need? How many more players do you think we need in this transfer window? Do you think, it's only Vinicius that we need, just 1? Do you think we need a defender as well, 2? Do you think we need a striker as well, 3? Let me know how many players you think we need in this transfer window. Now, Bruno Guimaraes is done, but who will be next? That is the question. There's a lot of talks about Vinicius still. At the beginning of the transfer window, I said we need a left winger. I didn't think we were really going to need a defender because we weren't sure about Saliba's situation. So I said midfielder, winger, and a backup striker, and someone to help out with Alvarez up front because I expected Jesus to leave. So I was thinking 3-4 players this transfer window. But I think it's going to be more than that. I think you're going to end up signing more than that. But who will be next? Will it be Ezri Konsa? According to reports, Aston Villa braced for a fresh bid from Arsenal for Ezri Konsa, another 28-year-old, just like Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal's initial proposal was well below Villa's 60 million valuation, who are not under financial pressure to sell. Konsa is a key target for Arsenal, and they're unlikely to give up hope. So Aston Villa have already sold a lot of players this transfer window, including Morgan Rogers, who we are linked to, and they've let go of players like Tielemans and Digne and all that. So I don't think they, as I've said, they're not in a financial pressure situation. And we've already dealt with Aston Villa regarding Rogers, and they asked us for close to 120 million, and Arsenal wanted to do like 80 million, and we left the deal. Again, Chelsea did not hijack Arsenal. Arsenal left the deal, and Chelsea came up with the money and they paid for him. So, are we ready to deal with Aston Villa again? Are we ready to flex our powers against Aston Villa this time round? Should we do it like we did with the Bruno Guimaraes one? Come to this deal and tell Aston Villa, listen, we can only offer you 30 million and you're going to start from 10 million so that you can meet somewhere in the middle around 30 million. Is that what you're going to do? Or are we going to, end up getting Ezri Konsa? Again, at the moment, there's different talks, different reports about Arsenal potentially going for a right back and then pushing Ben White to centre back to help out Mosquera in that position. Some are saying, Timber could be moved to centre back and then we have a new right back with Ben White on the right side. Some are saying we could get centre back to help out Mosquera on that side. So are we going to get a centre back to start next to Gabriel? Are we going to get a centre back to back up Mosquera? It's going to be Mosquera and Gabriel. It's fascinating to see what you're going to do with the defense, because that is a position we never mess around with. That is a position, if you look at all our recent signings defensively, I think most of them are like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 signings. Look at Calafiori, look at Incapia, look at Ben White, look at Mosquera. Like all of these signings that we made defensively have been really good. Even if you point out players like Kivio, really good signings. So is Ezri Konsa going to be the next defender to join us? Now with Saliba out, that is a position that, it's very important. It's very tough to replace Saliba. There's no one really on the level of Saliba, but you need to get someone to cover. You've already, in front of them now, you're going to have Bruno Guimaraes and Declan Rice. That is already really good in terms of protecting the defense. That is absolutely fantastic. And we still have, tanks and rocks like Gabriel and Incapi back there. So he's still going to be in a good position. Now, will we be happy to pay 60 million for Konsa? I don't think many people will be happy to pay 60 million for Konsa, but will the club be happy to pay that? I don't think so. The way we've approached the Rodgers deal and the Bruno Guimaraes deal, I think it's either going to be, Arsenal getting him for 35 million plus add-ons, or Arsenal walking away from Aston Villa again and going for another defender. So that's one to keep an eye on. Ezri Konsa, let's see if you're going to get him or not, or if we haven't really heard about many defenders. We've heard about someone from La Liga and another one, I think, from Como, but that's it really up to now. Chaloba's been signed by Como, so they're going to get rid of the other defender we are linked to. Let's see. Now, winger situation. I heard the other day that Ilan Meslier, this is according to Ben Jacobs, Ilan Meslier, we almost the same names literally, and we could have two players with the same names. This is Iliman Diaye. You already have Ilan Meslier, but this is Iliman Diaye. He's a player that Arsenal really like. He has rejected a contract proposal at Everton for now, and Al Hilal are working on that deal. Maybe they'll put it off, but Arsenal are one of the clubs that's made an inquiry now. This is a player that we want, Ilman Diaye. Again, we've just signed a goalkeeper with almost the same initials, not the same initials, the same letters, so it's a bit confusing, but this is definitely Iliman Diaye, Senegalese player. And last season, I remember him against Man City. In that game, he was really frustrating. We could easily have thrown away the league for Arsenal with those chances that he missed. But this will only happen if you don't get Vinicius. I think if you get Diaye instead of Vinicius, a lot of fans will be underwhelmed. Maybe that's the same situation with the Mudryk and Trossard. You never know. But obviously, moving from Vinicius to Ndiaye would be underwhelming. A lot of people are thinking, like, if it's not Vinicius, let's go for, Barcola or Nico Williams, whoever you like between those ones, Due or whoever. That's how fans are thinking. Because the Vinicius one, I'm like 20% confident is going to happen. So we might have to end up going for, alternatives now. Ndiaye is one of the alternatives. He had a good season with Everton. Is a, skillful player. He can score goals. He does miss some chances a lot of times, but he's skillful. He can play on the left. He can play on the right, and it's been good for Everton, I'd say. Overall, I think he had a good season despite those missed chances. But are we willing to go for him, or is he willing to come to us if you're linked to him? I don't know. We haven't heard about too many wingers that we've been linked to, but from Vinicius, Barcola, and also Nico Williams, but there's other players like Nusa we could go for. There's other players like, some fans are usually mentioning Liao, but I don't think you're going to go for Liao. But either way, let's see how it goes. Ndiaye is one that has been brought up. Now, what's the latest with Zubimendi? According to Philip Sport, he says, I was told by a source that Xabi Alonso is a big fan of Martin Zubimendi and has communicated to Chelsea that he's a player he likes and is of interest to him. I'm not saying Chelsea are going to go for Zubimendi, but he's a player who's been mentioned by Alonso. Forget about it, bro. Forget about it. Right now, that's how our midfield is set. Rice, Bruno Guimaraes, Lewis Kelly, and Zubimendi. That's our midfield. We've already let go of Nogard. We're not going to let go of Zubimendi as well. If you let go of Zubimendi as well, you're going to need to buy another midfielder. Our midfield is set. And I keep reminding you guys, Zubimendi was not a bad signing. I'm seeing some people saying Zubimendi was a terrible signing for 50 million. No, it was from the start. Zubimendi was being linked to Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid for a reason. There's a reason he comes on in a finals numerous times for Spain, even when he hadn't played for the whole competition, because the best player of the World Cup was playing in Rodri. He's still tipped to be brought on in a final and replacing Rodri. He could easily have just not played him at all. There's a reason. And between the start of the season up until like February, Zubimendi was really good. The impact he had in that midfield was really good. He allowed Rice to go forward a lot of times last season, and he chipped in with some really important goals. 0-0 against Leeds. He scores, makes it 1-0. We go ahead to win that game 4-0. Against Sunderland, we are struggling 0-0. He scores right before halftime to make it 1-0 from outside the box. We go on to win that game by 3-0. You look at a game like Aston Villa, 1-0 right after halftime. His run, good pass from Odegaard. We make it 2-0 from the Zubimendi finish. The assist for Madueke in the Champions League against Club Brugge, and numerous other times. There's a game he scored twice. The game against Nottingham Forest, he scored twice as well. So Zubimendi was a good signing. He was really good up until he got tired at the end of the season, and then it got a little bit all over the place when he gave away the ball in the Man United game, and he came on against West Ham. Wasn't great. You had to take Rice back into midfield, but overall, he's good. And now we don't have to depend on him every single game. Now we also have him and Rice and Bruno Guimaraes, and he could play with Lewis Kelly. He could play next to Rice. He could play next to Bruno Guimaraes. We have a lot of potential in the rotation. So Zubimendi is not for sale. And if you really, really want him, 100 million. Everyone is going for 100 million. 100 million on the table for Zubimendi if you want him. But for me, he is not for sale. So the Vinicius Junior latest, there's been a meeting today between Real Madrid and Vinicius. So you're going to wait for the rest of the week to see what went down in the meeting. Did he leave the meeting? Did he, get out of the meeting frustrated, ready to join Arsenal? Or did he leave the meeting, ready to sign a new deal at Real Madrid? We are going to know very, very soon. But either way, if we don't get him, we have to hopefully we have some alternatives that can do the job on that wing, because I don't think you can. Yes, we have Ezri, yes, we have Martinelli, yes, we have Tzolis, but considering you've tried to go for Vinicius this season despite having those players, the fact that we went for Nico Williams for 2 seasons, seriously going for him, the fact that we looked for Lookman, the fact that we tried Mudryk like 4 years ago, that shows me that Arteta has really wanted a left winger for like 4 years. So I don't think you can go into another season without finally getting out-and-out left winger who can dribble past players and all that. To help out Martinelli and Tzolis as well on that side. Martinelli can also be used as a centre forward in a game or two. He can be used on the right wing. So let's put ourselves in a good position and have enough squad depth. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.